Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Derek. I'm right on the edge. And today we are going to be looking at why the original Scooby-Doo cartoon was too dark for kids. Was it really too dark for kids? There is a content warning. This video contains discussions of suicide. Use the time codes in the description to skip if that section if you're not feeling it. Well, guess what, guys? If you're here, you're feeling it. And if you're not feeling it, get the fuck out of here. All right?
I agree. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I forgot to say I'm Megan.
This isn't. Oh yeah, this is Megan. And by the way, yeah, this ain't channel for babies. So if you a baby, get out. I sound like a baby, but
BRB,
I'm
I'll
not a
be right.
baby.
I'm gone now.
I
I'm
just sound
kidding.
like one. Now, what am
I
I
am a
right on the edge
baby.
of? Well, today I'm right on the edge of being drunk. In a year, I might be right on the edge of life. Who knows? Nothing's promised. That was
Oh,
dark.
push. That's bad.
Maybe just another mental crisis. Come on, guys. You know who you. All right, let's play.
Contains brief discussions of suicide. If you'd rather skip around it, you can use the time codes in the description.
I will never put these trigger warnings in my video, so I will not time code this. And if you don't like it, you figure out how to skip.
I had always thought that kids in a haunted house would be a big hit.
The creation of Scooby-Doo
Bro, you don't even need the kids in the haunted house. You just need the haunted house, apparently.
is a fascinating
Yep.
history that I've covered extensively before.
Because I was convinced this was going to be the biggest hit that we ever had, even though nobody knew what the hell it was.
You think Hanna-Barbera's biggest hit was Scooby-Doo?
I don't know who that is.
That's the company that made Scooby-Doo.
Oh.
Hanna-Barbera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but it is huge. I mean, Scooby-Doo is undeniably huge.
But there's always been a missing piece to this story.
They were scared to death. They went, we can't put this on the air. It's too frightening for these kids.
I would assume it was a lot darker at first, but yeah, I was like, the one I watched, I was like, man, it's not too frightening for toddlers, man. It was just silly.
Scooby-Doo was deemed too scary for
But
children,
you're a handsome man.
at least initially. So the myth goes
just
that the
saying that 'cause
original
he's
pitch for
bald.
Scooby-Doo
Yeah.
barely had any Scooby in it. The focus was actually
represent.
on the teens solving mysteries, and their dog just happened to be there. It was only after refocusing the cartoon around the comedic stylings of a goofy Great Dane that the show found its right balance of horror to humor. It's a cute anecdote, but
Oh no. I don't know how I feel if the dog was just like a dog and they were just like scared shitless the whole time. But I mean, the laugh tracks help too. It's always like, ha ha ha, you're so silly.
it's incomplete. Like, what specifically made the show too scary for children?
Yeah,
Was
I'm
it the
curious.
monsters, the atmosphere, the general premise of anti-capitalist youths just vibing? Well,
Were they anti-capitalist typing?
That's a really weird way to put it.
That's a very big stretch, sir. That's a huge stretch. Because I mean, for anti-capitalist use, man, Shaggy and Scooby spent a shit ton of money at diners. I'm just
Yeah,
saying, you
and
know, I'm just
and they're dealers too. But
yeah, man, they support the fuck out of capitalism. That's what I'm saying.
in a blog post that has been nearly erased from the internet, the show's creators left us a clue.
Nearly
In
erased, but
2002,
not quite.
Jack Ruby and Ken Spears, two of the main people behind the creation of Scooby-Doo. His name is actually Joe Ruby, not Jack Ruby. I don't know how I fucked that up. Anyway, posted an article
Good job correcting it. That's all that.
to their official website,
Oh,
rubyspears.com. This was the
pod.
year the first live-action Scooby-Doo movie would come out, and I assumed the pair wanted to capitalize on the excitement. rubyspears.com. This
Damn it! I missed twice.
you did it again.
official website,
Okay, there you go.
Okay. As Bill Hanna said in his book, A Cast of Friends, two talented writers named Ken Spears and Joe Ruby in the late 60s came up with a set of characters and accompanying story premise for a cartoon show that would become one of our most popular. Man, you guys need a type editor on this. Our most popular and successful series for Saturday morning television. Scooby-Doo premiered in September 1969. That pretty much tells the tale in a nutshell. But there's a whole bunch of interesting stuff that happened as part of Scooby-Doo's story. And this is what it was. It was the fall of 1968. We were in Joe Barbera's office. We had just wrapped up over the thinking on developing Penelope Pitstop to a new CBS show, The Perils of Penelope. Maybe you remember it. I do remember that. I mean, I wasn't around for it, but I saw reruns. Penelope teamed up with the Anthill Mob from the Wacky Races. Okay.
RubySpears.com.
This
This was
doesn't
the
really
year
say
the first
anything.
live
It's just like a bit of the story.
action Scooby-Doo movie would come out.
I love the light.
Oh, dude, it's so good. It's
Not only that, this actor played a fucking good villain in Five Nights at Freddy's.
I haven't seen the movie personally, but I heard really good things about the movie.
I think you'd really like it. The movie was so good. It was so good.
And I assume the pair wanted to capitalize on the excitement by writing up the most comprehensive post I've ever read, recalling
Minus that type editor when it said one of twice.
how the original Scooby-Doo cartoon was picked up for TV. Like,
It's right there. Dang, I missed
seriously,
it.
it
I'm
is
not
an
going back.
incredibly detailed account of the
looking at that
creation
typo.
of this franchise. But good luck finding it. At some point, this
Yeah,
website
good
was
luck.
taken down, presumably because they're both dead and no one's re-upping the GoDaddy domain subscription. I was only able to recover this post thanks to the Wayback Machine, and it's here that we
Wayback Machine's a crazy cool that just archives like random things, like internet pages and stuff like that, as they were at that time period. And it's been used
I
a
appreciate
ton.
it.
Yeah, it's been used a ton to like make it so like newspapers, what they used to do is they print something wrong, and instead of fixing it, they would just change it and they'd be like, "What? We never did anything wrong ever."
Yeah.
And the Wayback Machine like stopped that.
finally get the missing detail we've been looking for.
Artwork finished, Barbara flies back to New York and makes the presentation. Disaster. The heads of CBS think the artwork is too frightening for our 6 to 12-year-old audience, and thus, the show must be also.
Now, several people have told this story before, but Ruby and Spears are the only ones to specifically call out the art as the
It was crazy is that they're like disaster. One word, bro. They're like, we fail.
creepy component. Now, you've already heard from Spears in this video, and
Cool.
again, he clarifies.
So it had a like a haunted mansion in the background, and it's dark and spooky, and there was a big ghoul and something like that. They were scared to death. They went,
You know what's crazy?
Huh.
Is that one time that was considered scary. That's all you had to do.
Yeah. Now we have shows or movies that are literally
Yeah.
sending people to the hospital.
Yeah, we've been ruined. You know, the shit they put on TV now, bro, makes this like this looks like a Saturday morning cartoon.
can't
I
put
guess
this
at the
on
time
there.
it
It's
was
too
crazy.
frightening for these kids. Every parent in America was going to call in and say, why are you giving my kid nightmares?
Now, it's possible that it was Iwo Takamoto's monster designs that
Wait,
really
pause?
pushed the boundary
So actually, genuinely, one of the creepiest movies as a kid that was child appropriate, other than like Monster House, which I think arguably that should have been PG-13 at least.
Yeah,
But it's only
probably.
PG.
Yeah,
But the Zombie Island, Scooby-Doo Zombie Island.
I love that show.
It,
That's my favorite.
oh, it is such a good movie, but it really it actually kind of scared me a little bit as a child.
Yeah,
But
that
it was
make-
really good. I loved
yeah.
it.
It was Iwao Takamoto. A great artist.
of terror. I mean, everyone's had at least
Yeah.
one nightmare about the space kook.
Never have I ever had a nightmare about that guy, but I did always like his laugh. It's- Oh, he just cracks my ass. Sorry. I like the fact that they subtitled it.
Maybe the parents
10
were right, but
10
I
out of
want to
10
challenge
subtitles.
you to look past the characters.
Oh, I'm looking past.
Literally, look past them
All right, I'm
to
doing
find another possible culprit.
it.
The
Torture chamber?
background art.
You know what, man? I overlook the background art so much. Every time people find sus stuff in the background, I'm like, no fucking way. And then I'll look at the video, and there's like just casual, like a fucking like dildo or something in the background. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, on a children's cartoon.
Fucking The Onion got me one day. I didn't even realize it was The Onion.
Yeah.
They had an article out, and it was like, Bluey, just in, Bluey animator fired for putting a cuck chair in Chili and Bandit's room. Died, dude. I died. I didn't realize it was The Onion at first, and then I looked up the article. I'm like, oh shit, it's The Onion.
Dude, you got killed,
It's
man.
either the Onion or Babylon Bee, whichever. But it was
Probably-
hilarious.
God, dude, it sounds too funny to be the youngin anymore. It almost had to be Babylon Bee. The Onion wouldn't make fun of all their own writers.
Yeah.
A cock joke.
From the opening
Did you hear that, Jerry? Megan, my sister, she got fooled by a Onion. It was the Onion or the Babylon Bee article where it said Bluey creator in a controversy put a cuck chair in father, right? And Megan's like, or it was Babylon Bee. I don't remember what, but she thought it was the Onion. I was the Onion. They wouldn't make fun of their own writers. Fucking got him.
That's funny.
credits of Scooby-Doo, you are plunged into a world of eerie landscapes, abandoned buildings, and fog-enshrouded dirt roads leading to, nothing friendly. Moonlight sneaks through twisted trees, and foreboding shadows slash across damp castle walls. Like, just look at the opening shots of episode
Every time I see a monster, I'm going to try to remember the sound that he made that was spooky.
4, Mind Your Own Business. What is actually happening here?
I don't remember.
Some fairly normal
What do you think? What do you think
I like
noise he
that
made?
laugh the most.
Yeah, what noise do you think he made?
I don't remember.
The minor 49er.
looking guy is taking a stroll. That's really it. While other episodes have openings that feature more overtly menacing villains, this one could feel tame by comparison. But it doesn't. There's an ethereal storm engulfing an abandoned mining
Personally, I love the art. I dig it.
Yeah, it's
town.
it's really good.
Yeah, I love how everything's like crooked, like it's about to fall apart. It just looks like a ghost town.
Immediately, there's a powerful feeling of isolation. But then, the camera pans to the right, revealing an even more desolate location in this setting. Are you seeing this, Fred? Look how the camera pans, Fred. Oh, that's too far, Fred. Our monster
The leg cracking my neck.
That did.
doesn't come from the buildings in town. Instead, he materializes
at
from
his
the
own ass
shadows,
without a
as if
mirror.
conjured by the eerie surroundings themselves. The boarded up mineshaft hinting at something far more sinister lurking
Derek, you're
beneath the
awful.
surface. There is no
It's really
dialogue
funny, though.
spoken in this intro. This
that's what makes it
atmosphere is
good.
painted quite literally from
Well, isn't that what makes it so good? The fact that without a word, they set the tone and feeling of the episode.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's part of what makes it good.
the background art, helping to
I'm sure he thinks so
establish
too, obviously this is a
tone.
big
And
fan. Look at that
importantly, to
Scooby-Doo
help
lunchbox. in the
tell
background.
the story. It's an
Great
opening
picture
so
of it
good,
is.
they do almost the exact same one again 2 episodes later in What the Hex is Going On. I mean, it's Hanna-Barbera. They're not opposed to reusing things, right? Like, it's a
They've never reused one running scene. What are you talking about?
common joke that Hanna-Barbera cartoons have looping backgrounds, very obviously looping backgrounds, because their practice, what made them successful, was to make cartoons as cheaply as possible. And we definitely
Still
don't
being
escape
entertaining.
the
Wait, hold up. I know what this guy makes. Ah! I think that's what he does. Been a while since I
cycling
watched these old
backgrounds in Scooby-Doo. Those still exist. But that only makes it more interesting to me how often in this show you're presented with backgrounds that aren't repeated and don't feel cheap and don't feel lazy. Pieces of art that someone spent loads of time on.
You know what I think it is, personally? I think it's the fact that they knew that for every scene that they saved money on, they had to do one that they didn't, you know? Because if
Yeah.
they just use looping things throughout the whole series, people would have hated it. But they made it just enough where you could get lost in it, you know? You get lost in the story for, 15 minutes at a time. Or
Yeah.
maybe sometimes 20. Depends on the episode.
When realistically it's
Yeah.
only going to be on screen for a couple seconds, and they can't use it next week because Mystery Inc. is going to travel to a new town. Heck, even in those rare occasions when Mystery Inc. do revisit a place like, the malt
Does he
shop,
have a
they
pepper
still
on there?
have
Yeah. Yeah, it's Jackie TV always making some weird shit.
multiple establishing shots to
Bro, they fucking love the malt shop. See? Capitalist.
Yeah.
choose from. Why did they do this? It's so unnecessary. Look, this one has a day version and a night version. You can tell that the artists who worked on Scooby-Doo leaned deeply into its aesthetic possibilities. The backgrounds weren't just a place for the characters to stand, they were integral to the plot itself, suggesting that the world of Scooby-Doo was as much about the atmosphere as it was about the gang. The color palette often employed a range of subdued greens, eerie blues, and stark blacks that echoed the tones of... Are those
I remember that.
Derek.
real skulls?
Every time I see a monster, I'm gonna make the noise I think I remember.
I can't imagine that we're meant to believe that the phony monsters bought a bunch of realistic-looking fake bones just to dress up the place. That would cost a fortune, and usually that's...
Nah, it was cheaper back then. You could probably bought all those skulls for like a nickel and
That's true.
the thing they're after.
Treasures!
My point is, these settings feel like they have their own history, like they've existed long before Scooby and the gang rolled up.
And I really do want to like.
Yeah.
In the Mystery Machine. I love the bold use of purple here too, to add a layer of fantasy, hinting at the supernatural
Hold up, I know this one. Hold up. I'm trying to remember. I think.
threats
Okay, I'm drawing a blank. I know there's rattling chain noise in there too.
in A Night of Fright is No Delight, or how the entirety of Spooky Space Kook is bathed in this dark magenta that makes it look like the sky itself is threatening the gang. A perfect complement to the extra
I can't do this one with a straight face. It's so stupid sounding.
threat they face.
It's even worse than what I did.
God, that laugh gets more sinister every time I hear it. Do you think he's mad that I didn't pick him as the scariest episode of Scooby-Doo when I did that video a couple years ago?
He's coming for you, bro.
The comments were very normal about it, so by far my favorite color technique, however, are these occasional pops of dimmed yellows and oranges, used sparingly, usually around lanterns or windows of old buildings,
TV show?
creating a sense...
Yeah, I know it's not this show, but see, that's a banger, man. You can't... Who fucking denies that intro was a fucking banger? What's to Scooby-Doo? Coming here for you. Gonna solve that mystery.
That's my Simple Plan.
I know, right?
Yeah, Simple Plan's good.
They're like one of those Nickelback bands where everybody pretends they hate them, but they secretly are like, let's go.
Of isolation, pockets
I
of
like that
light
one because he was like a real robot.
swallowed by the endless shadows
running
around.
I remember that.
Yeah, running
It
the whole
sounds
fair.
so simple and kind of silly to say this, but mysteries just feel more mysterious in places like this. I could talk about these backgrounds all day, and I feel like I have. But let me ask you a question. Who painted these backgrounds? Do you know their name?
Jesus Christ, I've done so much great work, and nobody knows me.
Nobody knows
Walt
you.
was just 9 years old when he began studying art at the California College of Arts and Crafts.
Fucking prodigy, dude. Look at that mustache.
Obviously, he He was a good man because he has a pretty good mustache, right?
Yeah, that's what they say, dude. Look at that art,
Dude, that's actually amazing. Not gonna lie.
girl.
That's really
Stop it.
good.
By age 12, Paraguay enrolled in drawing classes at the Chenard Art Institute in LA. It was 1937, and at this point, the
That's a
school
Ford
had
Nichols.
already proven its success in molding artists as a different Walt trusted Chenard enough to personally train his
Damn,
team of
dude.
animators, producing the first animated feature film
Holy
in the
shit.
US.
Wait, how old was he when he did that? 12 years old? Or did that come later?
I don't know.
Playing the Seven Dwarfs. This guy worked on that, and he drew Scooby-Doo with him. Everybody should know this
And
guy.
it's here at Walt Disney Studios where Paraguay began his prolific animation career. At first, he worked as an in-betweener, creating transitional frames between lead animators' key poses. Remember this. Hey, remember this. Put the laundry down. Remember that I said that. It's gonna
I'm
come
not
up
gonna
later.
remember.
Then between 1942
Transitional. I won't remember.
and 1945, there's a big gap on his resume that just says war. So I'll have to figure out what that was all about. But after returning to Disney, Paraguay's artistic style emerged while working as the lead background painter for Sleeping Beauty. This is
Holy
not
shit.
him. This is Ivan Earle, who is credited with creating the iconic background styling of Sleeping Beauty with its squared off shapes and gothic elegance. This is Walt
Paraguay, who is an artist with a very distinctive style of his own, which is entirely different from Ivan's.
But I had to forego my normal manner of painting because all the scenes of an animated film must be kept consistent in appearance.
While Earle painted the most
Wow.
important key backgrounds of the film, it was actually Paraguay and a bunch of other artists
I wish that they still made hand-drawn cartoons. I don't have any problem with digital, really.
Yeah, but hand drawn is
Feeling
so
of
much
the
better.
hand-drawn.
It just feels more authentic.
I just like the vibe. And I know they can probably do all that stuff in digital. Probably filters or whatever to make it actually look like that, but just when you see a movie like Snow White and it's just all hand drawn, you're like,
Did
Just
you know
damn,
that
you know?
Lilo and Stitch was all hand drawn?
yep. I think
And it was. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think Lilo and Stitch had some digital stuff in it.
Yeah.
Because I think the last Disney movie that was completely 100% hand drawn was Beauty and the Beast.
Oh,
Not sure.
isn't that a newer movie? Let me
No.
fact check this really quick.
Yeah, fact check it. Fact
Hold
check
up,
it. Let us know.
hold
Then
up.
we can keep playing the movie. We keep playing this
Last.
video.
Hold up. Last. Hand drawn. Not handstand.
Yes, the last handstand.
Disney movie. Winnie the Pooh, released in 2011.
Dang.
Yeah. That's interesting. Okay.
That was way later. Maybe they
Yeah,
decided
yeah.
to just hand draw one extra one just because.
Yeah, Princess and the Frog. And,
Princess and the Frog was hand drawn?
yeah, it was in 2009.
God damn, dude. My facts need
But
updated.
yeah. I don't know. I like the hand drawn animations a lot better than the CGI.
Alright, let's play.
Okay, yeah.
But
who
yeah.
painted most of the backgrounds for the film. And that's not me trying to discredit the work that Earle did on Sleeping Beauty. Creating a unified visual style and stepping in to keep it
Dude, that's
consistent
so
across
cool.
a feature film is
Right there. You know that was his work.
Yeah.
Look at the purple background, the lightning.
still artistic work, and Earle is right to be praised for it. And so are the artists who painted a majority of the backgrounds, even if their names go overlooked. I'm developing a theme here. And it was Paraguay's work on 101 Dalmatians that finally let his modernist avant-garde style shine. Ken Anderson and Ernie North
Dude, I'm so ashamed that I don't know this guy.
Right?
I've watched every movie he's done backgrounds for, and every episode of Scooby-Doo at least once.
Provided the detailed
Crazy.
line work for the backgrounds, while Paraguay's background paints were more vague impressions of objects built with large blotches of vibrant hues that wouldn't stay confined to the precise line work layered above it. He was literally an artist coloring outside the lines,
Just because he
defying
wanted
the
to.
Disney mold with his fiercely independent.
And because of that, everybody fucking loved 101 Dalmatians, and one of the things it was praised for was its art style.
Oh, it's beautiful too. Yeah.
It's great.
Didn't
Like
flare.
a mix of like 3D and 2D, just
So
kind
of course he was fired.
In his leisure time, he can be himself.
Okay, that's not
He was Oh.
He's fired?
entirely true.
Yeah.
Paraguay's artistic style did set him apart from his peers, but so did his abrasive
So he wasn't fired because of the art. He was fired because he's kind of a dick, apparently.
personality. This is when I would like to clarify that Walt Paraguay wasn't some silent artist trying to work his way up the Disney ladder. He was a pain in the ass who hated pretty much everyone he worked with.
Perfect.
And I get the feeling it
So he was an artist.
was
Right?
mutual.
That's what I'm
Janice
hearing.
worked really closely with a guy named Walt Paraguay, who's a really opinionated, strong.
Yeah, that's definitely how you would describe someone who's a joy to work with. Also, I won't go into it because
I'd use those professional terms in an interview to describe someone that's an asshole. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Right?
Yeah, be like, how do I describe this guy without calling him a dick? He is very persuasive.
But you
It's
know
not
those
really-
guys, those guys who are like an asshole at work, but you can't be mad at them because they do good work.
'Cause they're
Like
so damn
they do
good.
better than they do the majority of better than majority of people there. So you're like,
Yeah, that's how they get.
yeah,
You
you
can't be
might-
an asshole and not be good at your job.
right.
you
Like you
have
could be
to be
like, I
good.
hate this guy's personality, but I really like his work.
the main point of this
Exactly.
video,
You
but
have to be good to
let's
be-
just say it's not surprising to
to be able
learn
to be an
that an
asshole.
old white man had problematic views that he was insistent on loudly sharing, views
My goodness.
specifically about gay people.
Gay. Gay. Gay? I'm not gay.
Either way, Paraguay was fired from Disney
Allegedly.
after his work on The Jungle Book and The Sword and the Stone. Not because of the
Jesus
homophobia. Disney would have liked that. No, he was just a dick. Walt then landed at Hanna-Barbera, where he ran the entire background art department for the studio
asshole.
for just a
He was
handful
good.
of years. The exact dates are hard to track down, but it was at least between 1968 and 1970. Give or take. Boy, I wonder if Hanna-Barbera were cooking up something important during that tiny window of time. I don't know, I guess we'll see. He and his team of artists were cranking out like 100 episodes of cartoons every year with who knows how many painted backgrounds.
Oh, God. When I think of all the shows I did for Saturday morning entertainment, I don't know where all the fuck those
Entertainment.
backgrounds went.
The pace was much faster than Disney's, but Hanna-Barbera were less strict about needing background artists to stick to a specific in-house style. In other
Yeah.
interviews, Paraguay expressed his belief that many of the backgrounds he created at Hanna-Barbera reflect a sense of individual style. And somehow, amongst this unyielding workload, Paraguay personally painted the backgrounds for the first episode of Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Comparing Scooby-Doo to other Hanna-Barbera cartoons of the
badass.
1960s and
You had a
70s is like tonal
homophobic
whiplash.
badass.
No, Fred, shows like the Flintstones and the Jetsons, both of
Crazy.
which predated Scooby-Doo, used bright, flat palettes and simple backgrounds designed to frame the humor without stealing focus. Even Johnny Quest, with its darker tones, stuck to designs driven by adventure rather than
really good.
I love how he just pulled those two guys in the same exact way, and they're just like, "Oh no!" It's kind of like watching one of those videos about those fake kung fu masters that like poke someone's elbow, and the person's like, "Oh," falls down. You know?
Well, you also notice how those guys were like 2 times bigger than him too, and he just picks
Yeah.
them up and throws them effortlessly.
You might as well just said judo flip.
suspense. They could be these gorgeous backdrops, dense with detail, but it often lacked the harsh, contrasty aesthetic of Scooby-Doo. Now, these flat, easy-to-read settings were a pretty standard practice in the animation industry, which is why Walt Paragoy had to push those boundaries too.
You know, they still use these same trite cliches. It's got to read. The thinking is, it's a flat ink and painted image over a flat background.
Yeah.
But that's not necessary.
Paragoy viewed each background as a character in its own right, something with depth and personality. And look, I already gushed about these backgrounds enough at the start.
That's crazy. The fact that he's so goddamn talented.
Yeah.
And he's still an asshole. Like, so you can't even, like, hate him purely because you're like, I really want to hate this guy, but look at that art, though. Look at that art, though.
You don't need me to do that again. Besides, if you're clever and have been paying attention, you'd know that I shouldn't continue to gush about these backgrounds because that would actually be giving Walt too much credit. Plot twist! You may have caught this detail a few moments ago, but Walt Paragoy is credited with being the background stylist for the first season of Scooby-Doo, much like how Ivan Earl was on Sleeping Beauty. And this is where things get a little muddy, so just hang in there with me. Some sources say that Paragoy only painted the backgrounds for the pilot episode of Scooby-Doo, while his team of other artists handled the rest of the episodes. Now,
So people say that so they just imitated him later on.
This is strange because if you obsessively rewatch Scooby-Doo, like everyone does, I assume, the backgrounds in episode 1 are rubbish, frankly. The story mostly takes place in a well-lit and well-maintained art museum. It's not scary at all, which granted does make sense because we know that the team was specifically told to tone it down. But still, episode 2 is also pretty tame with establishing
Kind of like the lighthouse.
Yeah.
Like so simple.
It's alright.
Shots being mostly mid-tones with minimal contrast. Then, all of that is thrown away with episode 3's very first shot of a decrepit castle entombed in darkness that looks as if it's hovering in a still liminal space outside of time. This episode, Hassle in the Castle, is where Scooby-Doo really kicks off, in my opinion.
hassling.
And it's aided significantly by the back.
Oh wait, I forgot. I'm a ghost.
Are those more skulls? The most impressive, key shots, the key background art that I've been showing off in this video, that is the sort of thing that a background stylist would typically handle, while the rest of the team of background artists did the sort of, they would help flesh out the rest of the episode's backgrounds. So then the question is, are we to believe that Walt Paragoy only touched the very pilot episode of Scooby-Doo and literally nothing else? I really don't know. In the interview that I've been
Thing is, it looks like his style based on other drawings we've seen from other shows. It's really hard to tell.
referencing throughout this whole video, while he doesn't particularly mention Scooby-Doo in this next clip, Walt Paragoy does specifically say that he always painted the key backgrounds for any project he worked on at Hanna-Barbera.
When I went to work for Hanna-Barbera, I had my huge background department. I did everything my way until Joe Barbera came to me and he says, I know you didn't do these keys, those punks that work for you up there in the background department did them. I said, no, you're wrong. They're mine, and they're not punks.
So I don't really know what the true answer is.
It's like a he said, she said thing, man.
Here, but
Derek gave me a slice of pizza.
At the very least, I am.
Derek gave me a slice of pizza.
Oh, okay.
As a pizza.
Like, I thought you were going with a story there for a second there. I'm like, well, where's it going with this?
No, that was it. Story done. I got a slice of pizza. But yeah, that's not he said, she said, right? So he's like, I was fired because Hanna-Barbera said I wasn't doing all the art or did the art for the key shots, and he's like,
Yeah.
I was too.
Glad that he does recognize and defend his team of other
Yeah, he's like, they're not
background
punks.
artists.
This entire operation puts one in mind of a symphony orchestra, where men who are good enough to be soloists in their own right are thinking only of the effect they are producing on the whole.
Wow.
Animation is seldom a
I would never thought to make the black background first for the shadow effect and then paint leaves for it.
That's actually brilliant.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. That's all I am. I would have painted the leaves and then tried to put the black in between them.
solo
I
act.
feel that.
Every shadowed forest and menacing manor comes
Shit, I don't know what they say.
from a team of artists, each contributing their own
Dun 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 dun.
brushstrokes to this haunted world. Yet their names
That's not even a monster, but you know, I
don't
wanted to get
seem to be
Scooby's jam in
remembered. You look at the credits of Sleeping Beauty and we focus on Ivan Earl's name, but not any of the other artists, like Walt Paragoy. And when a similar list pops up in the credits of Scooby-Doo, we focus on Walt Paragoy, but not any of these other artists. Articles
I like
about these
Ron
background
Diaz.
paintings always place Walt Paragoy at the center, as if he's the sole artist responsible for them. And
I do like the fact that he told Hanna-Barbera that they're not punk.
Yeah, I mad respect for him for that.
Yeah.
it's not lost on me that that's exactly what I've done with this video so far. The thing is, our
You
understanding
doing that? No
of
way.
Scooby-Doo's production history has been largely pieced together by scattered resources and archives, some likely lost entirely. I was only able to find that post by Ruby and Spears through the Internet Archive, an invaluable resource that came under threat recently from a DDoS attack, highlighting just how fragile our digital records
DDoS attack is by people that hate the fact that they know stuff.
are, and how easily we could lose access to the truth.
You know what bugs me is the fact that there's still missing episodes of Doctor Who because of the fire.
Oh.
Yeah, there's like an entire season.
Found in first-hand accounts. Even seemingly simple stuff like Walt Paragoy's history with Disney can be called into question. Remember how I said that Paragoy started working for Disney as an in-betweener before World War II? Look, it says it right here on his Wikipedia entry without any sources. I specifically told you to remember this. Well,
I remembered, but not exactly that. I remembered that I thought you were going to talk about his art as an in-betweener, not the history.
in an interview that he did with the Animation Guild, Paragoy himself refutes this.
According to all of the information I got, you started as an in-betweener?
No, I started as a traffic boy, and I worked 2 months. I quit because I didn't want to work in a factory.
Yeah.
And Disney and animation was a factory.
This interview was nearly 10 years ago. Somebody update the wiki! And while you're at it, can you please fix this typo? It's been bothering me the whole time I've been working on this video, which is like 2 years.
Hey, began to mesh well. You call that out, but you don't call out one of.
Yeah, Derek. Why are you being so particular?
By the way, the
that
wonderful
one and
artist
the other
Scotch made this video's thumbnail
Love it.
Oh.
in
That's
2021, and I've just been sitting on it. Sorry about that. I mean, I did pay it.
Yeah,
This
really
interview
sorry.
with Paragoy is hugely important, which is why, fittingly, it too has gone unrecognized, just like many of the artists who worked with him for Scooby-Doo's background art.
But like I say, I'm proud of it. I had 36 great artists working with me at Hanna-Barbera, following my keys verbatim. I mean, they were talented artists who could follow my work creatively.
Dude, I mean, he respected the people.
Right.
At this point in the interview,
Rare to see a boss like that.
Paragoy starts reminiscing about his
You know
team of
what?
artists at Hanna.
What's that?
I don't think he like he might have been an asshole. He probably was full of himself, but he seemed like a good boss.
Yeah,
if he's talking
yeah,
that highly
yeah.
about the people he worked with.
He's like a product of his time mixed with being kind of an asshole. And he sounds like kind of an asshole.
Yeah, but it seems
But he
like
respected his artists.
yeah,
A
which is a lot
great
more
team,
than
he
you
said.
could say about. That's a lot more than you could say about like
Most
certain
bosses.
places, you know? Yeah.
Barbera. He recalls that one of the more talented ones committed suicide, just like his old 101 Dalmatians partner, Ernie Nordley. And Paraguay wants to make sure that their names are remembered.
Wow.
But there's a problem.
I mean, there were so many of them that had no talent. And the one that committed suicide had talent, and of course, wouldn't you know, he would commit suicide. And Ernie Nordley committed suicide. Great artist. Jesus Christ, the animation. If you get a chance, I hope you'll remember a name like Ernie Nordley. And what's that? Well, I can't remember his name. He committed suicide.
Walt Paraguay was 90 years old in this interview. You can't really fault him for having holes in his memory. Like, at one point, he goes off on a tangent about how another artist named Frank Armitage got...
I wonder if I could find out who committed. You know what? Before I look it up, I will do. If I can find it, because it might have made news. But I'll look at the comments at the end of this.
all of the credit for the background art for 101 Dalmatians, but Armitage never got credited at all for that film. Maybe Walt was thinking of The Jungle Book or Sleeping Beauty again, but we'll never really know for sure, and that's really not the point either. It is genuinely heartbreaking to hear a man rant on and on and on about not receiving proper credit for his work, and then find himself unable to name any artist that worked under him at Hanna-Barbera. The credits of each episode of Scooby-Doo, however, do list the names of each background artist. And if you'll indulge me, and also at the serious risk of mispronouncing all of them, I would like to take this opportunity to speak all of their names out loud in a video to help preserve their artistic legacies.
Pause right there and just say, I'm going to watch this through and not pause it so we can listen to all the names together. Even though we might not remember, we can at least take this like moment or these couple minutes. Show respect for these guys.
Yep.
Ron Diaz, Daniela Bilecka, Gary Niblitz, and Rolly Olivia all worked as background artists for Season 1 of Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?, under the styling of Walt Paraguay, of course. The background stylist for Season 2 was Fernando Montealegre, with background painters expanding to a larger team with Renee Garcia, Richard Kim, Bob Gentle, Peter Van Elk, Curtis Perkins, Gino Giudice, Eric Simones, and Gary Niblet once again. These artists, with their soul-stirring work, defied simply fading into the background. And I hope their names
I'm probably wrong.
don't either.
And Disney made sure that nobody knows them, well, like me.
I know it's silly to get so heavy in a video about a children's cartoon, but the fact that we are actively losing important chunks of history from Hanna-Barbera's most well-known and successful franchise speaks volumes about the fragility of the animation industry and artistic legacies. You know, quite frankly, no one painting these backgrounds had to go as hard as they did, and I can't think of a better metaphor for art than pouring so much of yourself to create something beautiful that will largely go unnoticed.
I just want to add, like, you know, this show was such an integral part of my childhood.
Yeah.
I can't think of a time in my childhood watching. Played such a huge. That
Oh yeah.
Sad to know that any part of these teams go, even though I'm part of the problem, unnoticing them, not noticing them. But
I feel like we should be like the Japanese and be more respectful to the teams, but there's just so much you have to pay attention to in those credits, you know?
yeah, and they go fast too. Sometimes they're cut off early by like other things.
Yeah.
But I'm glad this guy brought attention to it, even though it's a little deep. But you know what? I'll take it.
But there's a hope there. A hope that someone, at some point, maybe decades after it's created, will stumble across your work and feel moved by it. It won't just fill the background. It will shape a world. There's a certain magic in building entire worlds from the ground up, complete with their own rules, characters, and even impending doom. This creative spirit is something I've found echoed in tabletop gaming. It's a medium where imagination reigns supreme, allowing us to explore new realms and narratives together. I play a lot with Em and her parents, but the trick is we all have different tastes. Em and I love games that turn on our imagination and have us immersed in new worlds with unique characters. Emily's mom loves games.
And they're right here. Not that I don't love your game, sir, but I really wanted to say thanks for making this. Thanks for making this. You guys like Scooby-Doo growing up. You like this video, if you like the background art, leave a comment below and tell me about a story in your life where you watched Scooby-Doo and you had like some memory that you had while watching it. And I'll tell you one of mine. I remember watching Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island, my little sister, and her being scared at the zombies but not wanting to say so.
Hey, I just told
It
you
was
that
so
earlier.
yeah, but it's not like I didn't remember already.
Oh.
Because you're like a little scared little person. And it was such a good time. So I'd like you guys to leave your comment about something like that too. Megan can share one of her stories with Scooby-Doo right now.
I feel like I'm on the spot here.
Yeah. I like to subscribe to this guy too.
Oh yeah, I think the Scooby-Doo movies are just really good. Like all of them are really good.
You know what's
like my
crazy?
favorite.
Even the WWE ones are really good.
The other Scooby-Doo movie that kind of freaked me out a little bit was the one where they met an alien.
Yeah.
That one was really good. It was really good.
Yeah, the
I don't have
Alien
a whole lot of
Invaders.
memories. Yeah, the Alien Invaders where Crystal comes down and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that one was. Oh. Well, anyway, thanks guys for watching. I know this is kind of a long video, but we had a good time making it, and I hope you guys had a good time watching. Have a good night.
Yeah. Yep. Bye.
Yep. Bye bye. Bye bye.